Welcome to the Angelscapes podcast, where you're encouraged to uncover and develop a direct connection with your soul's power, wisdom, and spiritual intuition that is ready to blossom. We'll explore new ideas, compelling tips, and real steps to help you learn simple spiritual practices. We're a safe place to learn more about accessing your soul's power with education and spiritual wholeness that could bring more clarity to your life. Now here's your host, a practicing medium, Akashic Records practitioner, spirit artist, coach, and mentor, Dr. Reverend Nancy Smith.
If wishes were fishes, we'd all be in riches. What are you wishing for? And what are you wishing to not have? This is Angelscapes, and I'm your host, Nancy Smith, and I'm going to welcome back one of my favorite guests, Jackie Smith, owner of Coventry Creations. This Coventry Creations is the most well-known and respected intention candle maker in the world. That's Jackie and her whole team. And we're going to discuss how to change your well-worn wishes into empowering intentions. And the well-worn wishes that we're going to look at are the wishes for how do you make an income, or how do you create abundance in your life, or how do you do what you love and grow the business, as it were. So Jackie is a very multi-talented founder of Coventry, and she's the author of DIY Akashic Wisdom, and she's also a brand new book that's come out is The Big Book of Candle Magic. I hope we could talk a little bit about that book. So welcome, Jackie.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. You're pretty darn talented yourself.
Oh,
I have never seen anyone do a spirit drawing on point like you have. Every time you share one of those, I'm just blown away by how talented you are. And if you look real close, we almost look like twins.
We do. We do.
We might be related.
We might. That's why you're my favorite guest. You and all my other favorite guests. I'm kidding. It is so much fun to talk to you. So much fun to talk to you. And I feel this is an awesome time to have you on because of so much talk that's going around about how to manifest things. And I'd like for you to help bust a few myths and really talk about the real deal with magic.
Right. There's no sparkles for my fingers when I do this. But I don't glitter. Oh no, that's vampires. But manifesting is what we do all the time. We do it. Magic is simply, when you put an intent out in the world and you make it happen. So, I have an intent of picking up my phone. I picked up my phone. That's magic, right? But then you can take your magic and make it even bigger and do more stuff with it. So, and the more you do with it, the more intent and the more tools and stuff you bring into it, the more stuff you can manifest. And the thing that stops our magic and stops our intentions from really taking root in our life is ourselves and our own fears, blocks, limitations, beliefs. All those things we've created our entire lives. Those are the things that stop those intentions and that magic from manifesting in our lives. We're 100% pros at tripping ourselves up. We've been doing it our entire lives. So that's when we can get into that mix and dive into our own understandings of ourselves, of what are the messages we're sending to ourselves. So when you need something in your life, when you have a deficit and you want to manifest something, it's because there's something that needs to be healed. So magic equals healing. So manifesting equals healing. So you're healing something that is not in alignment. So something that's in a deficit. And when I was writing the Big Book of Candle Magic, I have a philosophy on that there's 5 basic spells that we do. So it's 5 magical branches. We do something for prosperity. We are a physical, tangible need, like a car or a house, those things that we want to manifest, those physical money type things in our lives, things that money can buy. or we do something for protection or security. So where we feel insecure in our lives, which might be money, but mostly it's a physical protection or a physical safety need. Or we do something about love or relationships or communication. So anything that has to do with your interaction with another being, which might also be spirit. Another being is love. And then the other branch of magic is when you need to heal something that's broken inside of you, heal a process or a belief, or the last one is something that needs to be cleared. So maybe a roadblock in your way. So you're clearing something out of your way. So those are 5 branches of magic that we do. And guess what they align with? They align with Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh,
So
interesting.
as I was
Yeah.
writing this, I was like, oh my gosh, this totally aligns perfectly. And whereas, so in the last one, that in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. And so self-actualization is manifestation. So when you find out where your deficit is, where you're lacking, and you start working on that, and you realize it kind of lacks in all of the parts. And so you kind of, so for instance, protection, safety, security. So it will lack in every one of those areas, in your relationship area, in your prosperity area, in your healing, in your clearing area. So you just kind of touch on all of those areas and understand how that all interacts. So when you find that core little piece that is the deficit that's stopping you from manifesting, then you are like game on. Now you can start to see how you can manifest more stuff in your life.
So this is really interesting, and it sounds complicated. And I'm going to throw something out there about we want to wish, we really want something to happen. We're wishing for it. Could be anything. Could be let's pull something out of the air. Easier, just wishing for a new garbage disposal in your house or something like that, or just something that's tangible. And maybe that wasn't a good example. However, you just can't, you just can't get it. You get the one dies, you go to the store, you put that in, that dies, then you got to hire somebody to come in and fix it. And that's like, and all of a sudden the garbage disposal is like over $1,500, and what did you do wrong in terms of manifesting? So what I'm trying to say is sometimes people try to manifest, or they have a wish or a desire that they want to put in place, and it's just not happening. And the frustration part can be, I did it all wrong. It's my fault. This is awful. Or it can be any number of things. So how do you shift that? I need this. I want this. I need, and put magic into it so it actually hits the rubber hits the road.
Well, and that's called sitting in the suck. You're in the middle of the tar, the tar pit. And you're like, oh, this sucks. This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is in the pain, you're sitting in the pain of the moment.
Yes.
And that pain of the moment is real. There's
Yes.
nothing unreal about it. It's 100% real because you're feeling it. And even though sometimes feelings aren't real, but they sure do feel like it when you're in the middle of it. So sit in it. That's number one. Acknowledge it. So I talk in a lot of positive terms, and I say, okay, what's my lesson? What can I learn from this? But before I can get to that, I got to go, this really stinks. I'm really sad. I'm really mad. I'm really upset. I'm really upset with myself. I'm really upset with how this is going. And own it. I own my peace, my responsibility. I don't sit in there for too long, but I own the moment. And I think this is a really important piece to manifesting, is owning the moment. So let's go with that garbage disposal situation. Listen, I'm trying to get a bed delivered to my house right now.
Oh, honey, I'm so
I bought it in June.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, you had to wait for it to be made, blah, blah, blah. And I did all the things right. I went and looked at it. I shook it. I said, okay, I like the way this is dovetailed together. I can't get this stupid thing delivered. And so I'm sitting in the suck for the minute, and I'm like, do I need to ask for my money back?
Yeah.
Right. This is an option. Do I need to let him try one more time? So I'm trying to manifest this thing coming into so like the garbage disposal, trying to fix this thing. Sit in the suck for the minute. And then and then say, what is the lesson right now?
Mhm.
What do I need to know? What's in my blind spot?
Okay.
And your blind spot holds a lot of power. So your blind spot holds hidden resources. It holds lessons or messages that you're not paying attention to. Your blind spot is a blind spot for a reason, because you can't see it in either
Right.
direction.
You can't quite get to it. And you know something's there, but it's darn frustrating.
And that's where we hide stuff from ourselves. That's where
Right.
we hide those things that our ego is brilliant. Our ego is it does its job of protecting us from potential pain. And so it hides stuff in that blind spot that we can't see, because that might cause us pain, because it's going into the unknown.
Mhm.
And so I do, my friend Storm Sestavani calls this psychological magic. And I didn't really call it that before. And I think it's kind of brilliant. It's
Brilliant.
psychological magic.
Psychological.
Because
yes.
we're tricking ourselves all the time to messing up our own lives. So let's do the reverse, and let's understand that our brain and what our psychology is doing, and let's use it to manifest. So I will look at, okay, this bed is not being delivered. What is the message here? What's the message here? Do I need to return it? Do I need to be a little more patient? And honestly, when I sat down with this, and I will pull cards to understand what's in my blind spot. But before I do that, I have a whole thing in the Big Book of Candle Magic of asking questions of yourself to kind of get into that blind spot. And so I'll start asking those questions of myself. And really the message is I needed to slow down and pay attention. I need to slow down and pay attention.
How did you get to that? By asking those questions that are
asking those questions.
Okay.
Like what,
and you just kind of wound your way to, hey, just slow down and pay attention.
And really I slowed down and paid attention. And then I'm sitting there asking, like, what do I need to do? And some of the message I got was, that's right, slow down and pay attention. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm doing, like, fine. And really slowing down and paying attention. I was told I was getting some refunds of shipping or delivery costs, etc. And I said, okay, I'm slowing down and paying attention. What do I need to pay attention to? So I just started paying attention. Oh, those refunds never came through. So now I got to call someone about that. And I need to do this, I need to do that. So this is also tuning right into prosperity issues that I'm having right now. So some of the prosperity issues that I'm going through right now. So I'm just revealing all kinds of stuff about myself right now. So because things had been going so fast and so crazy during 20 and 21 and into 22, that I couldn't pay attention to everything. I just needed to function and move forward and move forward and move forward and move forward and just deal with everything that was coming at me. I never slowed down to pay attention. And so when I got that message of slow down and pay attention from the bed, I'm now getting the message, slow down and pay attention to everything else. Yeah, right. So slow down and pay attention. And I'm like, oh, so it's to everything else as well. So now I'm slowing down and paying attention to all the other things. I don't necessarily like what I'm seeing, but I'm also saying, oh, I haven't been paying attention to this and this and this. So in paying attention to these things and realizing money's not going the way I want it to, and I'm paying attention to a few things. And now, so I'm working on manifesting some more customers, some more sales. But if you, a very, very wise business advisor of mine said, well, you can get more money, but if everything's on fire, all you're doing is fueling the fire.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't want to just fuel the dumpster fire and throw more money into it. I want to, I don't want to just keep throwing money at something that's out of control.
Right.
So it was saying, slow down, pay attention, gain control of these things. And then when you gain control of these things, then the money just starts to manifest on its own. So that's my
wait a minute. The money started to manifest on its own.
Money will start to manifest on its own when you gain control of what's going on, when you're paying attention to all the pieces and parts. You'll see things start to work. So I want to tell you another little story.
Yeah, I want to go back to the bed though. Here, I'm
okay.
on the bed.
All right.
Did the bed ever tell you to put your feet up and relax a little bit? Like, like rest?
Well, that's
it was a bed.
Let's slow down and pay attention. I'm still waiting on the bed. It has not been
Okay.
delivered
So you
yet.
can't quite relax yet.
Thursday is the day.
Okay.
Also,
all right.
Mercury's direct. So
Oh, yeah.
here's the goal. Thursday is the day.
And some help with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really feel good. I feel good about it. And I feel good that all the money that I have been promised will be coming back to me.
I'm so happy.
But then
Good.
that's also that slowing down and paying attention and saying, okay, I'm going to be getting money back and making sure I get that. But that flows into other things. It's not just make sure I get money back in other business areas, but slowing down and paying attention to what are we focusing on? What are we marketing? What are we doing? What are we spending
The
time
other
and
details, because you said, like, if it's happening in one place of your life, it's happening in a lot of other places.
Right.
So when you handle all the other places, that's when the flow opens up and starts happening. Is that what you're
right? And so really what the deficit is for me, the deficit is I can look at it as healing.
Mm-hmm.
And also love, because it's kind of my relationship with myself and paying attention.
So important.
But it's healing because but I think it goes into love, right? Of paying attention to what's going on around me and paying attention to who I'm interacting with, but then healing as far as slowing down and taking time in self-care. So when I stop with my self-care and that's when I'm not paying attention to what's going on around me. And then I eat cheese and my face gets all red. So it happens.
You have a lovely face.
I have a lovely glow today.
You're gorgeous.
Yeah. It's a Gouda because I had a Gouda.
It's so good. You are so good. So this is kind of unwinding the complexity of what you're talking about. So you had another story. Let's hear the other story.
So many years ago, and you were witness of this one, when I discovered that my bookkeeper was embezzling from me, which was a big crisis. And I had to sit in that suck for a bit. And I was like a lot of self-blame of, I can't believe I let this happen. And then go through a lot of anger against the other person. And again, that was a slow down and pay attention too, because I was going really fast. Okay. So then, what do I do with this? What do I do? There's no money in the bank, like none. I have payroll coming up. Sure, I have some sales that are coming in.
Yeah.
I have some product to sell, but not a lot, but there's no money in the bank and I have to pay all these people. And so, Patty and I, my sister, business partner, also your sister, we sat down and we made a list of all the different things we could do. And there's some of the things that immediately got crossed off the list. And what was really freeing about that moment is the first thing we did is we took things off the list that we could do. And so we had to say, okay, we're going to cancel these things. We're going to take we're going to remove these things as options right now. And some of them were calling different vendors or canceling different promotions that we were going to do.
Okay. And then so hard. That's just so frustrating. Yeah.
And
emotions
it was like,
must have been
and
flying.
it was like disappointed. We're disappointing people, etc. And so and I had to make some really hard phone calls to some vendors and say, hey, this thing just happened and I need to make payment arrangements with you. We're going to pay you off, but I'm kind of devastated and here's our plan. And so we did that, and I had to eat a lot of humble pie.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
Eat a lot of humble pie, but I did it, so we went through and did this whole thing. And then we were able to make this list of different crazy ideas. So first we came up with a number that what we needed to manifest. So we had, and actually the number was at the top of the page. We knew we needed to manifest $150,000 above and beyond our regular income to recover from this thing. So this was 150,000 above and beyond our regular income.
Okay.
And so here's on this side of the column, here's what we do for our normal income. Okay. And here's our normal income on this side of the column. And so here's this side of the column, which is above and beyond. And we started listing off the things that we could do, ideas we could do above and beyond. And some of them are really crazy. No, we're not selling our plasma. No, we're not getting your
firstborns are safe, right?
Yeah, firstborns are safe. We're not getting a different psychic, doing readings all night, things like that. But we came up with some other really cool ideas, which led to even different ideas. And then other things kept coming up. And also we gave it a time frame. And we're going to do this, and we needed to do this by September 30th. We gave it a time.
It was a pretty fast turnaround because this was summer when this happened, June and
July 1st. Well, the June 1st is when we found out that we were really in debt from we thought it was something else. And then by July 1st, I realized, no, it wasn't from that. It was something else. And then I'd already set this thing in motion to manifest all this stuff by September 30th. And we did. We manifested $150,000 above and beyond. And
wow.
But here's how we did it is we gave it an amount, a time frame, and then we told everyone what we were doing.
Oh, okay.
We told
who's everyone? Who'd you tell?
We told our staff.
Okay.
We told our customers, we told our vendors, we told our family, we told our friends what we were doing.
Okay.
And we told them the ideas that we were going with. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we might do some other things. So we enlisted everyone's energy into it. Some people who said, good luck with that, God bless you. We just wrote them off. Check mark, wrote them off. Well, you're blocked from this energy. Your energy is blocked from this. I didn't worry about them because I had some stuff to do. I had a business to save. I had employees to pay, and they counted on us. I had customers who counted on our products to continue to make their rent. I had too many people who were counting on me. So if you were in, you're out. And so we got everyone. This is a really big thing we're manifesting. We're saving our business. So we got everyone involved. And I didn't realize at that time, I didn't realize that's how I was doing it, but everyone was rooting for us to get her done.
Wow.
And so we kept the positive energy up. That's not to say that we didn't doubt ourselves. We absolutely, I don't know if this is going to happen.
Well, now let's talk about that, because this is really important. I've heard so many times with manifesting, you have to have positive emotions. You have to keep things positive. And yet here you are struggling with, you were embezzled and all your money's gone, and you've got to have emotions about it: anger, frustration, fear, all the other stuff from when you were 10 years old. I mean, all comes in. And does that keep you from manifesting? A lot of people feel like, I feel this way, I'm not going to be able to manifest.
I think one of the things that we had, and I think that I would encourage anyone who's on a big manifesting path, is to have a partner. That you may not be manifesting the same thing as the person, but you have a partner, a magical partner, who is going to say, yep, you're doing it. Yep, it sucks. Yep, it's hard. Keep going. So I had a partner in this, which is Patty. And so, and sometimes we were negative at the same time. And we're like, no, hang on. We got a goal. We're going to do it. Let's measure it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Measure it again tomorrow. It's kind of like your weight loss partner. You're not losing the same pound because you're losing your pound and they're losing their pound. So just don't worry about it. Start again tomorrow, weigh again tomorrow. So don't worry about feeling really in the tar pits today. Look at it again tomorrow. So tomorrow's again, it's another day. So it's okay if you feel like you're not doing it, like you're not going to manifest today. We're allowed life is a roller coaster ride. Why would you think you're always up? You when you're down so you can recoup and re-energize. So plants do not grow in the sun. They do not grow during the day. They grow at night.
They do.
So when you're always up, like, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Look how great we are. You're expending a ton of energy.
Okay.
And then when you're in the tar pits, you're collecting that energy. Think about it as introvert, extrovert. When, sometimes when you need to go inside yourself and you need to regenerate some energy.
Okay.
So when you're in the tar pits of despair, you're regenerating your energy. You just know that you're going to pull energy in. And I want to talk about the energy that's around you too. It doesn't matter that it's crappy. It doesn't matter that it's depressive. It's energy, and you get to transform
it. Interesting. It doesn't matter what the energy is. You're transforming the energy. Interesting. Right.
Okay. So, and I'm sure if there's, people who are all about different chaos theories or quantum theories, whatever, they're going to probably disagree with me. But here's the thing. I've been in the tar pits, and I have been in a really depressive state, and I have been really feeling like I'm going to give up at the like the end of the rope, giving up. And I just said,
been there.
I am so filled with this depressed, horrific energy. If I could just use the amount of energy that I have that's on the spectrum of I'm ready to give up, like I'm ready to call it quits in this lifetime. And I said, if I could use the amount of energy that I'm feeling with this and use it to transform this into something better, I wish I could do that. And then I just got the message that you can. It's just energy.
Okay.
You decide what it's going to be.
What it's going to be, where it's going to go. So it's just energy.
So I decided to grab all this energy, and I kind of visualized this energy conversion machine in my brain, in my body, in my auric field. And I said, all right, well, I'm emotionally unable to do anything with this energy but to just pump it out. And so I just kind of in my head, in my imagination, I pumped it out into an energetic dimension that was going to transform it for me to use later.
This is all imagination.
This is so in our imagination, to me, our imagination is the language of the gods.
I'm with you on that one. Our imagination leads us straight into our intuition, straight into all the best stuff.
We don't speak the language of the divine. So the divine uses our imagination to speak to us.
Okay.
So think about, mediums, you're a medium or psychics and stuff. I mean, there's some stuff you're like, I'm seeing a blue bike, and you're like, am I making this up? Maybe, but the divinity is using your imagination to give you a picture. So I started playing with this idea after that. I just felt like this huge energy the next day after I was done with being this super depressive state. And I woke up the next day going, I think I'm okay. And then I remembered what I was thinking. And then I just kind of tapped in. I said, wow, there's this huge well of energy for me to use. And so I started using it to manifest something different. And it was, for me, it was just a different way of being. And I used that energy to kind of pick myself up.
That's very nice. So you just kind of walked into it,
yeah,
held it in your heart and pictured it going through input, output. The other side is just straight energy.
And so when people are sending negative energy towards me, I went, well, it's negative to them, but there's that old saying that any press is good press, right? So you're sending energy to me, so I'm just going to grab onto it, and I'm going to weave it into something else, and I'm going to use it. So when things are not going in my direction, so this is that new perspective. I'm going to take this energy that's heading it towards my way or in my life, and I'm going to shift it, and I'm going to take it a new perspective, which is that sitting in the suck for a minute and saying, what is the new perspective? What is this in my blind spot? I'm going to use this energy as a lesson, and I shift it and look at its blind spot or my blind spot and say, what can I learn from this? What can I gain from this? I always get something, even in the worst of times. And if I'm not in the right emotional state to get anything today, I just make it like the interdimensional pocket, and this we're going into land of woo-woo, but I just kind of put it aside to put it in a pocket for right now, and then look at it later. And because sometimes I cannot be positive and cannot look at it. I'm too upset.
I hear you. No, I've been there 1,001 times. And I'm sure everybody else is, where you have that, you're really feeling it. You're in what you call in the suck. And you really cannot picture how this could ever be different. There's that. And so you feel like there's, the magic is there's no psst in here. There's nothing here. And you're, take a breath, wait it out, and know that it's energy and it will change.
And so when I'm ready to take it to the next step, then I start talking about working on where I want to go.
Okay.
So sit in the suck, and then realize who you are. You are a divine being. And you are. Everyone who's listening, everyone, Nancy, I'm sitting across from you, kind of. in multidimensional ways.
Somewhere outside.
But we are all divine
Yeah.
beings,
We
because
are,
we have this
yes, we are.
consciousness and this
Yeah.
will, and we're all divine beings.
Right. And
So
but
yeah,
it's hard to remember that when you're in the suck. You
Yep.
really feel like you're not.
right. So
But-
when you give yourself that moment to be in the suck and then go, I'm a divine being, so I can make a different decision. And then start with thinking about what it is you want. And I do a thing where I think about the problem. I do an exercise when I teach a class where we think about the problem, the challenge that we want to overcome. And I have people think about that and give it have it come through all your senses. You can see it, taste it, smell it, hear it, and kind of make it into a ball that you can see, taste, smell, and hear.
Putting it all
And then
here.
and write it down. What is this thing that you want to resolve? And then what emotion comes up from that?
Okay.
And like there's one core emotion that comes up from that. And maybe
name an emotion that might be. It's like
I'm ashamed.
so it might not be a positive emotion. It could be
I'm
negative.
like maybe okay, going back to this my fear of what's going on right now is like I'm ashamed. I should know better. So and sometimes it takes a little bit to get to what that core, that emotion underneath. But what is maybe I'm mad. Well, what's underneath mad? Is there something underneath that, or is mad it? And then so you get the emotion, and then start thinking about, well, what are the resources I have today? What are the resources I have right now that can help me resolve it? So it's nice to that's like having a moment of gratitude. What are the resources I have right now? And some of them are me, and some of them are like, well, I have a box of crayons. I can write it all out. Or the resources I have my mind. Or I have whatever. I have a deck of tarot cards to read about it. I don't know. And then the next step is, what are the resources you're willing to be open to? That's a different question now, isn't it? Sometimes I just want somebody to solve it for me. And that's not how it works, is it?
I have these crayons and I'm not going to use them. Right. They're not good enough, and somebody needs to bring me some magic markers. And so, but the crayons are there. Right. So, what resources, wisdom, solutions, support are you willing to be open to? And that's a really important question to ask yourself. What am I willing to be open to? And that came from, it was a divine question. I had asked a client, well, what are you willing to be open to? And they go, I just want somebody to do it. And I go, well, okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah. If that's not an option, what are you willing to learn or support that you're willing to get for you to do it? And that was a really tough one for my client. And so I thought that was so, when I asked this of people, they're like, oh, I have to think about that. And so it's a very, and so if you're not willing, so it helps you open to getting to manifesting, right? It's when I have 7 steps to creating core change in your life. And the step number 6 is being open to receiving it. Because sometimes we make this wish, I want this thing. Like, I want to lose 100 pounds, but I don't want to do nothing to do it. Or maybe you start losing weight and you're like, oh, no, I can't do this. That's not me. I look too different, And so you have to be open to doing it. I had a client who insisted on seeing a certain problem a certain way, and he wanted me to use my sight and my superpower of being a whatever medium to see what was there, so that he could get out of the situation. And what I saw and what I perceived was not what he wanted me to believe was there. What an interesting! It was fascinating. So what? So you write down what you're willing
to be open to
Two.
wisdom, resources, support, etc.
Perceptions. Yeah.
Yep. And then once you got that written down, you had a couple of these things written down. The last one you're going to write down, this is going to take a minute. This is a letter from your future self to your current self. This is a little message of what it feels like to have this problem resolved.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, so I'm going to write a letter. My future self a year from now is going to write a letter to my current self and is going to say, Jackie, this bed's great.
So glad I
I'm
waited
so
for
glad
it.
you waited for this bed because it's sturdy. It has the underbed storage you want. And you knew it was, and it looks great in the room. It fits the room perfectly. And you knew it was the right bed when it was delivered without issue and it was within your price
Mhm.
point. And that happened, at this, it
Mhm.
was in October of 2022 when this happened, and you were so relieved. So you give yourself clues. You talk in the past
Mhm.
tense, and you give yourself clues. You tell yourself how you felt. You tell yourself what it looked like. You get in as many senses as you can, and kind of like when it happened. Not exacts, but clues. It was sometime. It was in October, and when you finally got your bed up off the mattress up off the floor, and you were so relieved, and you slept so hard that night, and you could just finish decorating your bedroom that you had been waiting on. You could make all these decisions you were waiting on.
Right.
And it felt so great. So thank you for being patient. So you thank yourself. Thank yourself for all of your hard work. And then so now you have now then look at it, all the stuff that you wrote down, and then you look at it backwards, and now you have all of your clues to how you're going to build your spell.
Okay.
So you've just tapped into your blind spot. You just tapped into your blind spot with all this. You may not have exactly all the answers, but you have a lot of them. And then if you still don't have a lot of the answers, then you can do this exercise. I have in my book called Why Is That? And you ask yourself your questions of like, and we can go into that.
You have a book called Why Is That?
No, it's in the big book of Candle Magic. I have
Okay,
an
and it's under
exercise
Why Is
called Why
That?
Is That? Although that's a
Okay.
great book. I could write that book. Why is that?
Why is that? What is it? Yeah. But this is perfect. So going back to your big book of Candle Magic, there's all of these exercises like we can crack open and do.
Yeah.
I really
There's lots of magical journaling. Because a lot of times it's just you doing your work, and we get stuck in the cycle of our brain. We're circular thinking. And we think we know it all, and we think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back at them, and I'm going to do a revenge spell because it's all and it's really
or maybe maybe you think you have a solution but it's the same solution you used before and you don't even realize it. You're just putting another dress on it or another color. But it so much. You were talking earlier about needing a partner, and not everybody has a partner. So a lot of times people are solo entrepreneurs or single parents or whatever. Their job situation isn't warm enough to have a partner.
right.
So getting something like your book, The Big Book of Candle Magic, or getting something that you can follow,
Right.
then you secretly will have Jackie as your partner, but that you can follow and trust, that you're doing it and stick to it. So you feel like you're not quite alone. And eventually I feel like that will change into you have your soul as your partner, you have your spirit as your partner. You'll start to see, oh, I do have a partner here.
And then as you journal, you become your own partner, because as you write letters from your future self to your current self, that future self is your partner. I mean, I think past Jackie all the time. Thank you, past Jackie, for making that decision. It made my life better right now. Thank you, past Jackie, for not buying the bag of bagels, which is not what I can thank past Jackie today.
Ooh.
But I bought bagels for the team, and they were hot. It was too difficult. But
I had a good friend bring bagels over yesterday, and they were delicious, and it was with a friend, and it was wonderful. And I'm,
and then you pay for it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have like past Jackie has done a lot of magical journaling, and a lot of I have stacks. I have a whole cupboard full of magical journals, and I will pull them out, and I'll remind myself,
Mm.
oh yeah, there's a reason why I continue to do this.
Okay. It's
There's a reason
interesting.
why this, and I know it works because I wrote about it.
Okay.
I remind myself that this does work. And
Okay.
I'm not perfect. I mean, I've gone years without doing any magical journaling. This is not like a daily dedication.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I found it my tub. I was cleaning out my cellar storage space, and I was like, what is in this tub? And it was all my journals. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't think I want to read them actually, but still it was like, yes, you committed to doing this work. You committed to going forward, and keep moving,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so we think that we have to get it perfect the first time. So when I say that, when I talk about, oh, we manifested all this money, blah, 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 it was over a course of time. It was
Mhm.
over a course of months, but that felt like years at the time. Every week was like, I don't know. Are we going to make payroll this week? Am I going to pay this bill this week? Am I going to pay myself this week?
Mhm.
Which is, when you own a business, sometimes you're like, am I going to pay myself? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Am
Yeah.
I going to buy
Oh,
groceries? I'm going to
I
make sure
heard
my
you.
employees can buy groceries, but am I going to buy
Yeah.
groceries?
Oh, I know. I hear you. I haven't paid myself in almost all year.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. And there's been a lot of interior questions. It's like, if I can't pay myself, what am I doing?
Mhm.
And it's, I need a partner. I'm going to crack open your book. But it is, it's life changing when you see something isn't working for you, but it's also life changing when you say, hey, there is some magic available to you. And in I love that energy that you can't see anymore. And here, we're blindsided. I love and
Yep.
it is just energy, and you can change it.
Yep.
You can.
It's just energy. Like there's power coming through this building right now, right? There's power coming through your building right now, and there's lots of plugs, and there's things that are wired directly in. There's lights that are wired
Mhm.
into your ceiling, and there's a plug that's wired in, and there's a stove that's wired in over here. It's energy. It becomes
Mhm.
stove energy or light energy
Mhm.
or curling iron energy. It's just, or it could become taser energy. um but it's energy, and it just, you're going to use it how you're going to use it. You could shock yourself because you forgot to put a light bulb in the lamp, or you could burn yourself on the stove, um if you have an electric stove, as it were. um so
So changing that energy.
you can change it,
You've written a note. You've written journal to yourself. You've talked to your future self came and talked to you,
and
and
then you got to
you're
do the work.
okay. So, but the future self is telling you, here's some steps to take to do the
Mhm.
work, and then you have to take action. You have to do the steps.
Right.
But oftentimes, one of the things about being in the suck is frozen time.
Mhm.
I don't have a clue what to do. So you got to do your work. You got to take your steps. Like, I got nothing except a fuzzy blanket here because I got nothing.
And
So
that's why we have tools, whether it's
yeah.
crystals or candles or whatever. Tools work when we can't, so that's their job. So whether it's one of Coventry candles, which I highly recommend, or you have crystals or herbs or all these different things, they are meditation tapes, chants. I stumbled across one day, I was looking for something else, and YouTube suddenly brought up um Lakshmi chants. I'm like, where did
Oh,
these come from?
they're
Where did
awesome.
these come from?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll put it on. I mean, it was out of the blue. Thank you, Lakshmi. And I put it on, and I just, a couple minutes later, I'm like,
Oh,
these
it's
are kind of
great.
awesome. I don't know what they're saying, but it felt so
Mm,
amazing.
yeah.
Or and then there's like binaural beats when I'm really messed up, or but lighting a candle and just really feeling good about it. I have different stones that I keep on my desk to keep, so the
Mhm.
tools work when we're, like you said, frozen. and let them do the work for
Yeah.
us. That's why we collect them.
That's why I have rocks all over my house. Beautiful crystals and rocks. I have to go over there and just put my hands on top of them going, we got this. We
This one-
got this. We
This
got
one
this.
wanted to, I had this
Oh,
one in a different part of the building, and it like stopped me in my, sometimes I buy things for props. And this one wanted to be on my desk, and I find myself holding this one lately.
now what is this? Is this a smoky quartz or what
This
is
is a
this?
smoky quartz, isn't it? Look at that
Lovely. It's
goodness.
gorgeous. Smoky quartz. It's round, it's smooth, and it has all kinds of fractals inside of it, or whatever you would call
Yep.
it, those little thingies.
So
What
I've been
is it?
looking
How
at
do you feel like? What is it when you hold it? What is it? What is it telling you? What is
heavy.
it
Number
helping
one,
you?
it feels heavy.
Well, heavy, yes. Okay.
But
But
I
it,
see there's a lot of rainbows in it. And
mm,
so I can kind of zone out into it and just kind of like going.
take a break.
So I actually think now that I'm thinking about it, it reminds me of like in Harry Potter, the pensive.
Oh,
And I
the
just kind of
yeah.
do
Take
some
your
brain dumps
take your and
when
put
it's
it
stuck.
in.
I do some brain dumps in
Take it right out of your brain and let it go.
Mhm.
I like that idea. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and that's actually a kind of a cool idea now that I think about it, is
Yeah.
using one of your stones to just kind of do some brain dumps. And like, well, when you're stuck in the suck. And it's okay. It's okay to just like rant. That's why I used to do I call it streams of insanity. A lot of my journaling was that I just like had to get it all out. And when you get it out, the insecurities and stuff, it helps you realize they're not as real as you think they are. Yes, they're scary. Yes, they're going through your head. And then when you verbalize them, you're like, oh, okay, I've been here before and I know how to get out. Or maybe I haven't been here before and that's why it's really scary.
Well, yeah. Or I have been here before and I'm not sure how I got out the last time, but here I am again and I don't, this is awful kind of
And
thing.
it is triggering some fears.
Yes, all over the place. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing about magic and manifesting is it can be very joyous. And when you can bring some joy and some laughter into it, which is where you start talking about the future. What does it look like when this is done? When you can bring some joy into what you're doing, it really lightens the load and things start to manifest faster. You know,
laughter and joy and happiness do tend to move things on a little quicker. But it's that big leap from the ball of suck to the joy. It's almost impossible to imagine that. So, but
and sometimes you got to get yourself
take a
out of
break.
the world and just get into a place where you can laugh.
Yeah. A hot bath or a movie. I love watching silly movies. We'll do that. Or Friends or
Yep.
sometimes just going for a walk or getting out of the house and something funny will hit you and laugh at it. But yeah.
You just have some fun there.
Take a break. Distract is a huge tool. Distraction.
Distraction.
I don't have an answer right now. Let me go.
And that's so real, is that you don't necessarily have an answer, but so I want to talk about a little bit more of the tools of manifesting. So you've got the little pieces and you've got some plans. And sometimes you get stuck in original plans. Here's the original plan I had, and we hang on to it. And what would happen if, and I do this exercise frequently at my house and my business, and my husband and I talk about it. What if we didn't have this plan at all and we're starting from scratch?
Okay. Yeah. What would that be?
What would that look like? So we become burdened with original ideas. Like, this is the idea, and I have this idea. And we become married or chained to an idea, and we don't have to be. So ideas, I love, Elizabeth Gilbert talks about in Big Magic about how ideas are almost like thought forms, and they go to whoever is going to manifest them. And if that idea is not for you to manifest, it's totally okay. They'll go to somebody else, and you'll get an even better one that works for you better.
Okay.
It's okay. It always comes that way. I had this business opportunity. Oh, this is going to sound so crazy to you. So there was this business opportunity ages ago where I was going to have an opportunity to sell used tires to Russia.
I remember
And
that.
it was going to be big money, I tell you, big money. Big money. I was going to make like $1 million getting together all these used tires to sell to Russia. And I was hanging on to that idea, and the people who are working with me on this idea, or working me to do this idea, because I was the one who was doing all the work.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
eventually, and it's hard to let that go when it's like, I got this person on the email and he's got all the money, wants to do this, and this person who has the tires and all these things were not coming together. And eventually I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this. Y'all talk. I don't want a part of this. And as soon as I did that and I let it all go, I have no idea what happened if that $1 million deal ever happened. Who cares? I went over here and went back to what I'm really good at and what I can do. And I started manifesting even more. I was able to let go of that and go in a new direction. And actually I kind of sank a little bit more because I needed to hit rock bottom and then come back up. It wasn't perfect, but I did it. But just some
Did you create a whole new line of candles after the $1 million tire deal fell apart? Because I seem to recall a whole new line of candles coming out. They were awesome.
I made, so you go back to what I think I was going to get out of debt this way, and you go another way. So we did a different line.
I'm getting ready to do a couple hairbrain schemes just to help myself out after not being able to pay myself for the year. It's like, I don't know if they'll work, but I'm just pulling rabbits out of the hat to figure it out and what to find my way back. I'm hoping to what it is that I'm good at. So what it is that I know how to do well.
And you are a brilliant medium and artist. You are so good at all that stuff. And if you have not had a reading with Nancy, a mediumship reading with Nancy, or some spirit art with Nancy, you're missing out. So Nancy, if you lean and people can see your Angelscape sign, that's some of your art right there. And I'm your hype person right now.
You are so good.
Right?
Oh, thanks. This is a piece of art called Soul Art. You see the title there, that I did a little while ago when I was working with a client who was single and didn't know what to love, what to do. There was a lot of transition in their lives, and this was the image that came up that was very helpful to that person, because the swan is learning to have a good relationship with itself through the lake of fire. The dragonfly says there's lots of ways to look at it. You can put your foot on one world and put your foot in the other world and see which world works for you. And then the mountains, there's a lot of mountains to climb, but you'll be okay. So this was the symbology, just came out intuitively, boom, boom, boom. And then we talked about what it meant. It was great. So it was a pastel. It was, I just was looking at that the other day, and I would love to do another one for somebody.
Yeah. Those are a gift. You're very good at that.
Thanks.
I hope there's more of that in your future and everyone else's.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's wonderful. And it's wonderful when you can use your creativity that's connected to your imagination, that's also connected to your higher self, to create something. The world changes, even if it's a small increment, but it does change. It's kind of fun. It's magic. It's magic unto itself, but there is magic afoot when you're stuck in the suck. There's still magic for that. It doesn't go away. The energy doesn't dissipate and go away. That's what I'm hearing. You can use it.
Transform it.
And there's a lot of tools out there to transform it. I'm just kind of wrapping it up, saying there's self-talk, there's talking to your future self, there's trying to get knowing that there's something here, your block, and then there's candles, there's crystals, there's the big book of candle magic that is more than candles. It's what did Storm say that you did?
Psychological magic.
Psychological magic, Jackie. That's got to be. Let's do that book. Do it.
Yeah.
Psychological magic. It's great. And so there's lots of tools to use to create your wish. I wish I wasn't here. I wish this was better, to the intention of what you want to create, what is meaningful to you.
And I just want to throw one more thing out. A wish puts the power in someone else's hand, but an intent puts the magic in your own hands.
I love that.
So we turn your wish into an intent and you get to manifest it.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
It becomes magic.
Beautiful. Good. So you can get a hold of Jackie. Well, let's go to CoventryCreations.com.
Yep.
Check out all the things she has and her company has to offer. And the big book of Candle Magic's on
Right.
Amazon. DIY Akashic Records is on Amazon.
As my first book, which is Coventry Magic.
Yes, Coventry Magic. Let me see. Where is it? I have your first book. I believe your first book is by me all the time. But I would I have the Coventry big book of Candle Magic in like to read list. It's better if I just leave it not on a to read list, but leave it somewhere around. And on her site, and I've called the company many times to order candles, and all of your phone people know what the candles do, know what they mean, and they've really helped me make some awesome orders.
Good.
Awesome orders that helped me and helped me help my clients. You got a wholesale business going as well. So if some people want to sign up for that. So what else would you like to add here about?
We're on all the socials. You can look us up on Coventry Candles and Coventry Creations and all the socials. We even got a TikTok.
I saw that. That was amazing. Now, my favorite thing that you have on social media, and I'm not sure how to find it, so tell me a little bit, is when you do pull the cards. You have Coventry cards, candle cards that you pull, and you say, what are the cards for today? Tell me a little bit about that. Can people buy those cards, or is it
you
just
can buy those cards on Coventry Creations and on our Facebook and on our Instagram. There's past videos of where I will pull a couple of cards. Ask a question, a kind of a universal question, and pull a couple cards and show you how they mean. And the cards have the Magic 5. So every candle has 5 different ways to use it. How to use it for prosperity, protection, love, healing, and clearing.
Very nice. Very nice.
I mean, it was interesting to figure out how to use an attraction candle for clearing, but sometimes you got to pull something in to push something out.
I absolutely loved when I think I recall that one and you say, how do you attraction? You want to clear it? And that's what I saw. I said, I'm pulling in my strength.
Yep.
So I don't have to think I have to face this anymore. It was very cool. It's very, very amazing work. But I recommend finding you. And you do those videos. Are you doing them on Instagram or you do them on
we've been doing them on Facebook and
Facebook.
Instagram. Oh, and we have a fun thing on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called the Witches Union Spellcaster Club.
Yes.
And so you can join that. There's just 3 quick questions to answer. And you can join that. We just make sure we don't have creepers or,
Well, that's why,
So 3 quick questions to answer, easy peasy ones. And we have more stuff coming up on the Witches Union group. We have all of our Spellcaster Club cards in there. And
oh, nice.
Lots.
And then you have do you do those videos? You have videos in there in that group as well that you could scroll through, correct?
Those are more on our Coventry Creations page.
Well, Coventry Creations page. Okay.
But more stuff is coming in the Witches Union group.
So excited. Keeping lots of stuff alive. And so I recommend all you guys out there go to CoventryCreations.com, and Jackie's work is amazing. It's all there, and you take advantage of it. These are all tools that are meant to help you find that your highest best life.
Right.
And I like to bring them to you through these podcasts so that you can listen to them and you can take advantage of them and you can check it out. And, don't be shy. CoventryCreations.com, fly with it. And spend some time really sorting out on Facebook, Coventry Creations and the Witches Union on Facebook. And just go for it, guys. It's great tools here. So thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, Jackie. It's just a lot of fun. I love when you come on. I really love doing this. Maybe we do it again, real soon and talk about some more stuff, and appreciate it. It's wonderful. So I give everyone blessings and for a wonderful October season coming forward. And this is a wonderful time to go get into the transformation and find your highest and best during the October season. And we will talk to you again. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks. Keep it magic, everybody.
Keep it magic. Absolutely.
Thank you for joining the Angelscapes podcast. We hope you've gained new insights and inspiration for your journey to uncover and access your soul's power. For more information and a deeper dive into finding clarity in your life, go to angelscapes.net. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the discussion. It may just change your life. See you next time.